Well, hello everyone, it is a new day here on the Mistcraft server. We are still in the dye area, yep. And guess what? We're gonna be doing more dye things today, but we're actually gonna be starting a building today instead of farms. I mean, we're still gonna get some farms in, but we are actually gonna start building up our dye city today. Additionally, I've been doing a little bit more work around the area, connecting things up to our central storage area, specifically these ones right here, these farms. So if I go into my little free cam, we have these two. They are connected with a water stream, which is then connected all the way up to the sorting system, which now has all the dyes sorted. Plus, this is our little miscellaneous thing now, since I actually ended up putting black squid ink there. So that is what I've been up to between episodes, and I have been gathering resources for the build, which is going to go over here. And it is going to be where we're going to be having our cactus farm and all our stuff to do with green dye. I'll also probably have lime stuff here too. I'm probably going to do a little pickle farm. I'm not entirely sure. It's either that or crafting stuff. But we have a lot of concrete and terracotta and glass, so much stuff, and I'm so glad I've gotten these farms in already behind me because they made it so much easier for this. We're already starting quite early with everything, but I think I need to get a little bit more in theme. Obviously, I'm going all Roman this season, but I'm not in my toga skin. I'm not in really my Roman skin at the moment, because I'm not really working on it. I'm working here. This is kind of my second base at the moment, and I think I need to get a little in theme with what I'm doing right now. So, if I take all my armor off, I think it's time to switch skins. There we go. Much better. I am covered head to toe with all the dye that I'm working with. I think I look pretty awesome. I am covered with dye. I am very colorful because I'm the dye guy. You may have heard of the Moss Boss on this server, Blover. Well, here I am. I'm the dye guy. Yeah. And today I am continuing that name. I'm getting more of a reputation by doing more dye things. Of course, I've already mentioned. So, I mean, I guess we're gonna start right off the bat with my building. My big cactus farm building. This is where we're gonna store our cactus farm. It's gonna be layered. This is gonna be a big old skyscraper that is going to start our dye city. I'm excited for this, how this is gonna turn out. I'm pretty happy with the design. I have a lot of inspiration from a bunch of different people's builds. So I'll talk a little bit about that once we're done. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and get started. And it is complete. Now, this, the rest of the surrounding area is not complete. Just imagine that there's going to be a street going down here, and there are going to be more buildings. There's going to be a little bit of landscaping here, but for now, it's just going to be this flat little plain as we start to get things done in here. Now, the main idea is that the main tower bit is going to be where the cactus farm is. Probably have a small super smelter thing here, and then below I'm going to do a bamboo farm that is going to be our fuel. Basically, the output is just gonna feed into the super smelter up here, and then the resulting dye will just be sent off over to the storage system, and that is the main idea. Now, I did mention that I had a bit of inspiration for this, and this was inspired by Good Times with Scars, Hermitcraft Season 5 base. Now, this is not the first time I have been inspired by Good Times with Scar on this channel, and I've done a Good Times with Scar inspired build. The last one was on Timecraft, where I did some inspired landscaping, and I even did a little super fast build mode just for fun. And this one is an actual structure, and I think turned out pretty cool. I think this is my biggest thing I've built on the server so far. Definitely the tallest. Probably the tallest building on the server. Not gonna lie, it's pretty big. This is starting to really make me excited for how this area is going to start turning out. I have a general plan for the building that is going to surround the Mobile farm. I think instead of it being a skyscraper or tall building like that, it's going to be kind of a factory. A modern factory, kind of not as the typical factory you would see or stereotypical one with really big smokestacks and stuff. I think there's still going to be some smokestacks, but it's kind of a bit more of a, I mean modern factory, but I mean as modern day, which is just going to be kind of a big modern building. Plan isn't completely finished, but it is still being worked on, and I think it'll be pretty cool. The other buildings I still am kind of unsure about. I still don't entirely know what I'm going to do. Definitely some more tall buildings. My one thing that I really want to do is incorporate the color of the farms that are being put inside of these into the buildings themselves. So naturally we have green, it's lime green, but we still have green to kind of show that this is our green dye area. We have our little blue dye farm here, so it's going to have a blue color to it. This is going to be kind of probably a smaller tower. My original thought was kind of a cool one, which was going to be that this was actually under a fountain, made of like a glass fountain and stuff, and it'd have the blue and the light blue in it. However, I didn't really realize that the levels were all off. I should have maybe thought about that a little bit more, but it's okay. So it'll probably be another building, but maybe I can kind of do a raised up area. I don't know. There's still a lot to be designed and thought of, but I'm starting to get there. One thing is I think I might have mentioned that the squid farm, I kind of was thinking about having it go all the way up there. Maybe, but I definitely was thinking about that. And I realized that that's too much for this, I think. So I think my idea is that instead it's still going to be a tower, but we're going to make this into a plane flying above the area. I think that'll look cool. And maybe even the smoke or something, the stuff that's coming out might be rainbows. Because obviously this is a big old colorful area. We got to have some more rainbowy things, I guess. Yeah, this is starting to already turn out pretty cool. I'm really excited to see where this goes. Hopefully we can get another building in, or maybe even two next episode. Probably not this one, because this one's going to take a while to design and get resources for, because I'm probably going to be doing a lot more concrete, especially gray concrete, and that stuff is really annoying to get. So yeah, so we might tackle one of these buildings, or maybe even the one right next to our green dye building. I think that might be good. And definitely start kind of thinking about the streets and some of the landscaping, try and get that all worked out. I mean, maybe we'll even kind of start thinking about that this episode. I don't know. Because at the moment, I don't really know what's going to be next in this episode. I have an idea, and we might tackle that next, but, well, soon. I think next we're actually going to get these things in. I don't really feel like doing these on camera just because it's not very interesting. So I guess I'll see you once I have the farm in, and probably also the bamboo farm. Well, before we get into this next little section, you might have noticed in the past one that my mic was a little weird, and unfortunately it gets a little worse for a while, and I do apologize. I pretty much move my microphone a lot, and at this point, I moved it to a point where I was too far away, and I didn't notice. So I sound very far away. Some parts are just going to cut off. So hopefully I can get like a little bit of a voiceover done. So it may shift between good and bad every so often. I'm going to try. I apologize, but this is the best I can do. Yeah. It will get better after a little bit, but these next couple segments are going to be pretty bad sounding. And once again, I do apologize. It's not good. It's not very good. And it is complete. Now, it's a pretty stereotypical cactus farm. Bunch of layers of cacti, the very basic thing. I thought a fun thing was, basically this is like the cactus We just have some at the very top of the tower in this room. They have their own little windows, skylights looking down into here. But I wanted to try and get the super smelter. Oh, and with that, also a bamboo farm. But I had an idea that I want to do before I do that. And it's something that I also was not going to do. At least it was very likely that I wasn't going to do it. And this is probably not going to be something for every building. But since this is one that I'm probably going to access for a super smelter, I'm going to actually do an interior. Well, at least a little bit. It's pretty much my idea is there's going to be a lobby in this front half, and the back is just kind of be nothing, kind of a nothing burger back here. Right here is basically just a temporary sorting system where the drops go, and yeah, we've already gotten a couple after I've emptied this out, because I'm going to be tearing this down and putting the actual interior down here. One of the reasons why I wanted to do it was because I want a really interesting visual thing that I really liked for a while that I've kept trying to implement into builds at some point. I just haven't done it yet. And I'm going to do it this time. I am. And it'll also do with honey blocks. If I have the cacti come out somewhere and I have a wall of honey blocks, they can slowly trickle down the wall, and it has a really cool effect. And of course, the actual place would need decoration because it would just look really awkward with just this random honey wall. So I thought, why not just make an entire interior for the lobby of this place? And it's only going to be this first half, and pretty much there's going to be some doors going behind here. And either we'll have an area that goes down underground to where the super smelter will be, or I might be able to fit it in here. It really depends. Because I'm going to need an output system for the bamboo farm, which is probably going to be under here, so it might as well also just be down as well. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get this honey wall in so I can kind of show you guys what I'm talking about, and then we can continue with the interior. And this is what I'm talking about. There are some cacti already coming out. The farm is working very well. So as I'm working on this, there are definitely just going to be some coming down. So I guess right now I might as well just try and make a little bit of a hopper chest area just to temporarily house these as I'm working. Pretty much what they're going to do is cacti that are falling will fall down this elevator. And if they are positioned correctly, they can go down and it'll look like this. I think it's really cool. And pretty much it's going to be covered up from the top and here, so you're just going to see some slide down every so often, so I think it'll be pretty cool. Pretty much I'm going to have like an actual little like water thing down here that will kind of all have them be able to get down here, because obviously some are falling top, some will fall but not actually hit the honey, so we want them lined up well enough for this to actually work. I have to work on a system for that, but I think first, I'm going to kind of just make a little bit of a layout for the area because I'm going to also need a ceiling and all that stuff. So I think we're going to have to get to that next. It took me like 2 attempts, but we have it done now. If you can see up here, and I think you can actually hear it activate. There it goes. Just on time. We have it working. Now, initially, I thought I could just do it without some redstone and just do it with some water streams. But the issue was that stuff was not flowing down. They were just kind of falling, and that's not what I wanted. So I had to rely on some dropper / dispensers, just, you know, hopper going in, dispensing out, and then it going down the thing. It's funny because I was inspired by a Cub fan video about this. He added this, and funny enough, it was also for a cactus farm, which was not intentional, but still pretty funny. That is my really good what's the word, output, and it's not very good. I don't know why I did it like that, but it's just what I had with me, and it's not really working, but it's fine because that is completely temporary. And I think like what he did was I might do kind of a one half does this one thing, one half goes one way, and I'm thinking one half will just kind of go and that will just store cacti. If I ever want cacti for something, just as cacti, maybe? I don't know. Maybe just like one corner is for cacti. And then rest of it will go towards the actual melting floor. But with that up and running, I think we can get started on the exterior, covering up, getting the ceiling in, and just overall making this look really nice. So if I walk on out and I turn around, we have the interior complete. Now, it's not amazing. I will admit it's not amazing. I like the actual structure and the palette and everything, and I really like how the little honey wall is very front and center. But I just put chairs around. That's about it. We do have a lot of like little cactusy things and green themes to remind you that this is the tower in which green dye is produced. We have cacti and green terracotta and the cactus flower and more green terracotta. I'm happy with it. I am happy with this. I really like the warm tones that I've gone with. It really helps with the honeycomb. It'd been a little weird if I kind of went maybe a bit more of a modern route with these colors, especially with a building kind of with this color palette. I don't know if it would really work, so I'm happy with it. And as I was talking, the back here is completely empty. It's a big old nothing burger because that's what it's gonna stay as. It's been a little while since I last recorded on Mistcraft, but we have made our progress. I've been getting into, I apologize for the lag. I've been getting into Hightail recently. I've been doing some other things. School just started, all that stuff. If you want to see me playing Hightail, I do have VODs on my channel. I'm going to be streaming it. I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming it, but there are VODs on my channel if you would like to watch. Self-promo, am I right? But if we go below the building, we have a big old bamboo farm and a super smelter. Now, I'm going to actually use this super smelter for super smelting as well. Super smelting. I'm going to be using this as a super smelter just because it's here. And it's a big one. But this is for smelting down the cacti into green dye. And ooh, we've already made a lot. Now, this is also from the output that I've gotten from that chest. Like from up there used to be a chest, a temporary one, when I first made the interior. And I basically had that run until I made the super smelter. Pretty much what happens is they fall down, there's a little water stream, falls into this system, and then after a while it will activate depending on how many cacti are in the chest. So we have, how many? Not many at the moment, but that's what will happen. And then these are here for fuel. So basically all that'll happen is it will break down bamboo and then they'll go into these hoppers behind the furnaces that will go into them. So we have infinite fuel. I have not connected the dye up to the storage system yet, nor have I done it with the blue dyes. I've only done it with the purple and the red and yellow, I think, or magenta, purple and red. No, magenta, yellow, and red. There we go. Because I've been thinking a little bit, and I may have to move this depending on how the actual city planning goes, because obviously this area is going to be a city. And of course, I need streets in a city. And depending on how big the streets are, where they run, this might interfere. So I may need to shift this over a little bit, like end blocks to be safe. That's kind of my idea. But pretty much I want to have a street kind of around this level, I'd say, maybe one up or so. Because I want to actually have this on a different level of like to the road. So you would have to like go up a little bit to get into the building. Well, I got a little carried away. I mean, I guess carried away isn't, I mean, I didn't do a whole lot, okay? I mostly just got this little street design and I got this staircase in. So you can kind of get a general idea of how this area is going to look. Now I need to make some little walls. I need to decorate this a lot more, probably add some foliage, and obviously expand this road. So it actually looks like this should, well, it looks like this doesn't need to really be moved. I think we're good. I think when I was thinking about this, I think the road was definitely going to be a little wider or a little farther away, but I think this is a good spot for it. Now, the idea for where the road is going to go around the base, I think we're kind of going to make this a bit of a ring road. And really, it's just going to be kind of in a little bit of a curved rectangle that just kind of goes around this way and connects back up. And I think that's good enough. I think it'll probably have to go like curve a little bit. or even have a little bit of tunnel. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think I just need to get these buildings in first just to kind of get an idea for it. We'll see. Obviously, I'm not going to be getting this all done in one day. This is a big project that's going to take a while. So I am just getting started on this. So I really don't know. This is the only building here so far. We're going to be getting started on the other buildings hopefully soon. Yeah, I need to get a little bit of a retaining wall kind of thing here as well, which I mean, I already mentioned, but I think that is just something that I'm going to probably start off camera, maybe on a stream, something like that. But I think that is going to be it for today. I think I want to get this episode out. I've been dealing with a lot of performance issues. As you can see, I've been really laggy, so I would like to figure that out before the next episode, because I don't really want this to happen every episode, and it's annoying. And I bet it's pretty annoying for the episode as well. So that is going to be all from me today, and I shall see you guys in the next one, whenever that may be. Bye.